For my ad presentation, I chose the article Throwing in the Towel, which tells us about a Mexican beer company called Tecate and their Born Bold campaign used for the last 5 years on boxing and how they have completely switched to a different ad campaign. So, first, defining the trend, Tecate shifted their focus to Mexican American heritage because beer marketers wanted to grow relevance of the brand within the United States, which is why they came out. Their new ad campaign is called Mexico is in the US. So they can target more people within the United States because it is a Mexican beer company and it's made in Mexico. So issues raised. Tecate is laying to rest its old marketing strategy towards boxing, and the Born Bold campaign being used was not working because sales in retail locations plummeted in 2019 due to the boxing advertisement. Part of the reason why over the past 5 years their advertising strategy has not been working is because they were only targeting boxing fans, which is hard to do because boxing is all pay-per-view, so only people who buy the pay-per-view can watch the fight, which means only people who buy the pay-per-view can watch the commercial. So research presented, according to Adachi.com, Tecate spent over $5 million to gain sponsorship rights to a single boxing match. The boxing match was Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather. It was a very big boxing match, but they still spent $5 million on one match in which only people who bought the pay-per-view could watch the fight, which means the only people that bought the pay-per-view could watch the commercials that Tecate used during the boxing match. So that was sort of a problem with the old advertising strategy, which is why they're throwing that away and going with a new one. So according to marketingdive.com, their new marketing campaign embodies a more modern and culturally relevant point of view. So they have it's more modern, and it goes along with more people than just boxing. So the evaluation and future, the new campaign will reach many more people than the old one because it isn't just limited to a particular sport. The new campaign is trying to reach every American in the United States, which is why I believe it's so much better than the old one. And for the future, I believe that the sales will increase largely due to the new target audience of the younger generation drinkers, as well as the 32-week advertising scheme. So Tecate has, with this new advertising campaign, they have dedicated 32 weeks to advertising it across all major networks, radio, television, social media, pretty much anything you can think of, they're advertising it on for the next 32 weeks to try it out and see how it does. Which takes us into the importance. So this trend for Tecate, I believe it will help the beer company become one of the top competitors in the beer industry because the ad campaign is so strong and it targets many people in the U.S. And I believe they also must stick to the Mexico and the U.S. campaign for a couple of years in order for the strategy to remain of relevance. So even if it doesn't work in this first 32 weeks or they don't see an increase in sales right away, I believe they should stick with it for at least a year or two to start seeing results, because it is a very good advertising strategy and definitely a lot better than the last one. So in conclusion, the old strategy for the company wasn't smart because it only had one particular audience that it was targeting to, which was boxing. However, the new advertising proposal will be huge in the success of the company over the coming years because it is targeting many more people in the U.S. And it is also letting customers in the U.S. know that Tecate is a Mexican beer company, but they would love, they sell in the United States and they would love drinkers in the United States to be a Tecate beer drinker. Thank you.